morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I took the day off because it was, Columbus Day yesterday. I had Columbus Day things to do, go to the parade, things like that, right? Honestly, I was working on my other channel. So I'm glad you're joining us. Yes, there's the kitty cat behind us. He keeps us with us from a distance. So I've got updates on a few trials that actually did go forward yesterday. They did have the Brooks trial yesterday, even though it was Columbus Day. And I hope all my Canadian friends had a really nice Thanksgiving. And I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Good morning, everybody. It's Crafting Journey, That Journey Chick on Instagram, and on my other YouTube channel, I'm known as The Leftovers. Check out that channel because, man, it is booming, and I'm thrilled. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, did you have a nice Columbus Day, Thanksgiving Day up there in Canada? There were no parades here in Wichita for Columbus Day. So I took the day off from Crafting and Crime from the show, and because I thought, the courts are closed. Well, little did I know that the Darrell Brooks case went forward, and the George Wagner case also. No, they didn't have the George Wagner case, now that I'm thinking about it. No. Okay, so it was just the Darrell Brooks case that went forward yesterday. The rest of the cases, they all took the day off. So what I did yesterday was focus on videos for the Leftover channel, which is booming, by the way. I'm beside myself thrilled that that channel is doing so well. And thank you guys for supporting it. Also, for you that are making purchases, thank you so much. There is a link down in the description that would take you to that channel. Or I have a link also directly to the store if you want to check out the merch and see what I've got for sale. So, one of the other things, because my anxiety has been like an 8 out of 10. I will say it's not the worst, because I'm not like hysterical. But it's not good right now. And, one of the things that makes me anxious is, like being unorganized and, like the house being dirty, laundry needing being done, so I got my laundry done yesterday. And, my poor sister, she just rolls out of bed she always gets up at noonish. And I'm like, we need to do this and we need to do that. And she's like, can I go to the bathroom? I'm like, oops, sorry. And that's just my anxiety talking, I'm like, anyway. So I worked yesterday on the channel, and then on my business, getting things. I listed all of the shoes. I listed 5 pairs of shoes. Got an offer on one of the pairs of shoes already. The combat boots. Oh my gosh. So if you guys haven't seen the combat boots, wow. And pretty popular since I already have an offer on them. I'm just kind of amazed. So let's talk about, the other thing I did is I made a list. I just listed all the things I need to do. So one of the things I need to do is file my weekly claim with unemployment. So I called their line and they're like, we don't have any record of you having a claim. What? So I try to go online and to do it, because they tell you, go to this website and you can, so I go there and they're like, I put in my information. They're like, nope, there's something wrong with your account. You need to call. And I'm thinking all of this stems from the fact that probably about a year, maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember how long ago. It's been more than a year. Someone filed an unemployment claim under my name, a scammer. And I had to file a fraud case. And I looked back at my email from last week, and sure enough, they think that this is a fraud, that someone is doing this again. So I try to call them, and they're like, it's between, yesterday it was 4 hours and 5 hours, the wait on the phone. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So I didn't wait. I waited 30 minutes and I thought, oh, I can't do this. And then today I said, it's a new day. I'll call. Well, I called yesterday afternoon because I'm thinking, well, if I call later in the afternoon, they'll be through the line. And I call and they're like, at 4 o'clock. I call. They're like, we're closed. At 4 o'clock? What? Who goes home at 4 o'clock? The unemployment office, apparently. So I tried this morning, and the wait time is between 5 and 8 hours. And then they'd say, okay, we're going to connect you to an operator, or, I guess put you in line or something. And then if there's no lines to put you in, they just say, we're busy. We're going to disconnect you. You're going to have to call back later. And they disconnect you. Boop. You can't even wait. There's not even an option to wait. So, after I'm done videotaping, I'm going to call again and see if I can wait this time without being disconnected. And yeah, good luck with that. But there was some things on the list that I got done. Yes, that I did accomplish. So that made me feel a little better. So I do see other things on here that I need to accomplish. And oh my gosh, there's been like a little lottery to get into next year's retreat up in Missouri. No, not Missouri. I'm sorry, not the Missouri retreat, the Michigan retreat, with DP Addiction Adventures and some other planners. And I got in. Yay. So I made my deposit. I ordered my light pad. There was no discount on it, that they were having this sale that I waited for, and there was no sale on light pads. So I went ahead and got the Art Dot light pad. It should be here today. This light pad, I don't dislike this light pad, but it has this clip here that's not removable. So the painting can't lay flat, and I think this is just for smaller paintings, so deal with it, right, Rebecca? Deal with it. Yes. So every day is like good news, bad news, good news, bad news. Yeah. So that's the way it is. So I'm trying to decide, where am I going to go up to Missouri and try to have dinner with Crashley and Tia. And I was on the fence, and I was able to, I have not collected any of my Patreon money in over a year. I've just kind of let that sit there. And so I checked my Patreon account, and thank you so much, you guys that are supporting my Patreon. There was enough money for me to say, okay, now I'm comfortable, taking this business trip, getting over there to Kansas City. I want to go to the Goodwill bins, which is different than a Goodwill store. The bins, they sell things by the pound. And I want to get over to the bins and see if there's any other thrift stores in some smaller towns along the way. And then I want to have dinner with Tia and Crashley and Kerwin and Rochelle and anybody else that wants to come. Nothing fancy, probably whatever we can find, McDonald's, whatever. It's a very small town that they'll be in. Hamilton, Missouri is, they roll up the carpet at night. There's no nightlife in Kansas, in Hamilton, Missouri. It is the quilting capital of the USA. Yeah. So let's get to crafting and crime. Let's get to the crime part. Also, I started a cat sweater. If you missed Craft With Me Wednesday, go check that out, where I'm working on a cat sweater for Stitch. I don't know if Stitch is going to wear the darn thing, but I'm at the point where I need to put the legs in it. I've finished like the collar part and the upper body part. Now I got to put the front legs into the sweater. And it's a bag-a-day pattern. So check that video out. I'll try to put a link there to that video. So what trials did go forward yesterday? So the George Wagner case took the day off. Alex Jones case took the day off. And the other case I'm covering, Darrell Burks, that went forward. So let me tell you what happened at the George Wagner case on last Friday, because I haven't covered that yet. I'm saying a lot. I think that's my anxiety. So there was some investigators testifying on Friday about their search of the Wagner property. Now, let me just refresh your memory. George Wagner is on trial for the death of 8 members of the Rodin family. Chris Sr., his brother Gary, were killed on one property. Then they went to the next property. The Wagner family went to the next property where Chris's oldest son and his girlfriend, Hannah Gilley, or his fiancee, Hannah Gilley, and their 2 children were there. The 2 children were fine. They were murdered. Then the third property the Wagners went to was Dana, which is Chris Sr.'s ex-wife, Chris Jr., and Hannah, their 2 children, Chris and Hannah. There was a child, a 5-week-old there, and that 5-week-old was not harmed. Then a 4th property where Kenneth, which was Chris Sr.'s cousin, was murdered. So 8 people were murdered. George and his family are accused of murder. George's mom, Angela, and his brother, Jake, have already pled guilty. Angela is serving a 30-year sentence for her part in planning this murder. She did not take place in the actual murders, but she did a lot of the planning with the family. And then Jake testified that he murdered 5 of the 8 people. Now, still to go on trial is Billy Wagner, the father, George's father, but I don't know why they got separate trials. I have no idea. But George's trial is moving forward. The investigators are testifying now. They've already finished all the testimony about the initial crime scenes. How they came upon them, what they found there during their investigation, all that kind of evidence. So now they're talking about what's known as the Flying L Ranch, where the Wagners lived. Hi, baby. What's going on? Thank you for visiting. So investigators spent Friday testifying about what they found when they searched the vehicles on the property and some trailers on the property. Do you need to go out? I can take you out. Now, the thing that's interesting, and you have to keep in mind, is by the time they figure out that the Wagners are suspects, the Wagners have already moved. They've sold that property. They moved to Alaska, lived there for a year, and then they came back to this small little country town. And that's when they became suspects, and investigators went to search what was left on this property over the previous, the current owner's objections, I'm sure. But they were able to find a lot of personal items that still belonged to the Wagners, including, believe it or not, they found the Walmart receipt for the shoes. They found surveillance. Well, they didn't find it. They found the Walmart receipt for the shoes. Now, we know from a prior testimony of a shoe expert that there were 2 footprints of these shoes that match a brand from Walmart found at the crime scenes, a 10 and 11, I think. And they found this Walmart receipt for those exact shoes. The SKU numbers on the receipt match shoes that were found. They already found the shoes. And then they pulled Walmart surveillance footage and showed that to the jury of Angela leaving after she made that shoe purchase that matches the receipt. Then they found a lockpick set, they found a bug detector, and they found what's called a brass catcher that attaches to a gun to catch the spent shell casings, because when the initial investigation happened of these crime scenes, they were all a little bit stymied that they weren't finding shell casings. And one of the theories was that there was probably a catcher on the gun to catch these casings. And lo and behold, they find this apparatus. They also found the forged custody documents. This whole thing happened because of a custody dispute over a little girl. Jake Wagner, George's brother, had a child with Hannah, Chris Sr.'s daughter, that was killed. The child in question at the time of the murders was home with Angela, while George, Jake, and Billy went to commit the murders. So that's where we're at with this case. That trial will continue today. Then we have the Darrell Brooks case, which did go forward yesterday. And it started with Darrell showing up in a nice suit. You're going to see it on film here in a minute. I'm going to show you a little clip. Nice gray suit, blue tie, blue shirt. It looked pretty good. Looked a little spiffy. And the judge says, "Is there anything you want to say before I bring in the jury?" And he said, "Yes, I have something to say." And I'm going to show you now what happened in the trial. Listen in and see what happens.
Jury out, but of course, Mr. Brooks, I need to turn to you first and see if there's any issues you believe the court should address.
Very briefly, I just want to state this for the record that I would like to issue the court an apology from me in regards to my actions last week during the trial. I just want the court to understand it's very emotional right now, not only for just the whole situation of the trial, the families here that have to go through, everything that's going to be involved with the trial, but also my family as well and myself is very, very emotional. But not to excuse my actions, I should carry myself with better respect than that. I wasn't raised that way. And I owe you, Your Honor, and the court an apology. And I'm going to stand up as a man and tell the whole court and you, Your Honor, that I apologize to the bailiffs, that I apologize for my actions. Like I said, that's not how I was raised. I come from a Christian background. My mother did not raise me that way. She did not raise me, to act out of frustration and irritation and anger. And I just wanted everybody to know that I apologize for my actions. And I'm going to try my best to, whatever happens, to conduct myself with respect and with respect to the court. And I just wanted y'all to know that the prosecution, judge, bailiffs, clerks, reporters, everybody, audience, everybody here. I just wanted y'all to know that.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. I do appreciate that.
Interesting, huh? He made an apology. I think his mother got to him. I think Mom said, "Darrell, or Darrell, or whatever you want to call yourself. Darrell, what is wrong with you?" She probably slapped him. "Darrell." Because we know Mama has, his mom is very involved and has said as much that, we were going to see full out mania with him. Maybe he's taking his drugs now? I don't know. If you don't recall, Darrell Brooks is accused of driving his SUV, his red SUV, through a Christmas parade in Waukesha. And he killed 6 people and injured many, many others. He's facing 76 counts of criminal activity. So he spent the entire day in the courtroom on Monday, was never taken to the other courtroom. He conducted himself professionally, and I thought that was really, really insightful. So there was a lot of police witnesses yesterday that testified that they, tried to stop the SUV, and some other of the witnesses. Today, I think the focus is going to start on the 6 people that died during that parade. They're actually, I think they're going to put on those family members or people that were witnessed it. I'm not sure how that's going to go. We'll see. But and we'll see if this continues, if Darrell continues to conduct himself in a professional manner. So far, I know today he's still in a suit, and they put on a first witness, which is a parent of one of the victims. So that should be very, very good to watch. So where are we now? Oh, it's going to be a short show today, mainly because I've been talking a mile a minute. I know. So, let me catch my breath. There. Oh, all right. The other thing that's going to continue today, it just came into my head. Alex Jones, the jury was deliberating his fate. Alex Jones is facing he's already been, all right, let me start over. Okay, Alex Jones has already been found liable for defamation to 8 plaintiffs in this case. He went on his show, InfoWars, and he said that Sandy Hook murders, that it didn't happen. It was all a big government conspiracy so they could take away our guns. And this went on for years. This Sandy Hook happened in 2012. And for 10 years, off and on, he would spout this conspiracy theory, and he'd bring on guests on his show who were experts on this theory, and to the detriment of these families, because the people that would listen to this were harassing these families. One showed up at one of the plaintiff's doorsteps and said, show us your, we know your child's not really dead. Where is he? And, just crazy stuff. So the jury is deciding, they began deliberations on Friday on the amount of damages, compensatory damages, and punitive damages. Now, there is a jury instruction that informs the jury that punitive damages in the state of Connecticut are limited to attorney's fees and costs. So they can award $1 and the plaintiffs will get their attorney's fees and costs. They could award $8 million and the plaintiffs are only going to get their attorney's fees and costs. It's just going to be like, and it's just an award. It's not something those plaintiffs will ever see monetarily. Now, I don't know. So I'm curious about how much they're going to give compensatory, since they know that punitive is very limited. We shall see. Like I said, it's going to be a big number because there's 8 plaintiffs and they'll have to figure out how they're going to divide it. So they finished their deliberations at about 4:30, 5 o'clock on Friday, and the judge instructed them to come back to court this morning at 9:30 to continue their deliberations. So we'll be on verdict watch today. I will try to bring you that verdict live if I catch it. I'll have YouTube on while I'm working, and I will try to go live when they have a verdict, because it'll be interesting, right? Okay. So that's the show for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I gotta get working on it. I gotta go to the post office. I gotta go to UPS. I gotta track down this thing, call it. Yeah, I'm more busy now than I ever was when I was employed. But, and is it fun? Kind of. So it's fun when you put an item up like I did yesterday, those combat boots. And we've gone back and forth with a seller this morning. First, he made me an offer. I think I listed him at $47. He made me an offer of $20. I said he could have him for $30. He made me an offer of $25. I said he could have him for $27.50. That's where we stand. But that's fun. I think that's fun. Negotiating. I only paid $10 for the boots. Yeah, don't tell him that. Yeah. It doesn't matter. He knows I didn't pay much money for him. I found him at the Goodwill. Anyway, really nice boots. If you haven't seen that video on the Leftover channel, check it out. All right, guys, that's the show for today. Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow in Crafting and Crime Daily, or today if there's a verdict somewhere. Take care. Bye.